I wanted to jump on here just a second because I had a thought come across my mind, which I have thoughts a lot. So just kind of wanted to give you all a couple of thoughts that might help you to think a little bit. Think about the whys. Why are you doing what you're doing with finances? Why do you want to do better? Why does it just feel like a struggle all of the time? All of the time. What can we do to make it easier? I feel like that you have to know your why. I know I have my whys. I know why I get up every morning. I know why I always wanted to stay in some sort of shape by eating right. Or I always had a reason why I was doing the things that I do and did. Why did I get up to go to work every day? What is your purpose of getting up and going to work every day? That is a huge question that you need to answer for yourself, because once you realize the why and you've got the real reason why you're getting up every morning, then it gets easier to get up, right? It gets easier. So if you know why you go to the gym every day or every week, however often you go, let's think about that for a second. Why do we go work out? What's the point? The point is, one, to feel better, to stay on top of your health, right? To try to look like something, to feel good about yourself. My why, especially when my children were younger, my why was I didn't want them to feel embarrassed when I showed up for their graduations. I wanted to look like that I tried to take care of myself. I tried to be the good mom, which I failed a lot and I know it. But I feel like that my why was I just wanted to feel like that I wasn't an embarrassment. And I'm not sure that that is a great why, because the point is that we need to do things for ourselves. But when we have that motivator behind us, not somebody harassing you. Now, I'm not talking about your husband harasses you because he tells you you're fat every day. That is not a good motivator. That is wrong, and that shouldn't happen. We shouldn't have people that love us based on, things such as weight, for example. And the reason that I'm talking about weight is because I have dealt with that all of my life. I wanted to maintain a certain weight my whole life. I've wanted to try to stay on top of that. It's just because that is something that was important to me. And like I said, my why was important enough that I stay on top of it. I know you're wondering what in the world I'm leading up to here. The why of finances. Why do we want the struggle to end? Why do we want the struggle to end? Think about it for a second. Why is it that you want to be debt free? If you can afford your payments every month, let me talk to the ones that you can afford the payments, but you just don't want the debt. You're tired of the debt hanging over your head. And let's say you have $2,000 a month in cash flow. So you don't have any problems making your payments, but why do you want to be out of debt? Have you thought about that? Let's say that you are paycheck to paycheck. Why do you want to be out of debt? I think I know that answer because I was that person. When you're paycheck to paycheck and you're so just heavy weighted, with the stress. And I say this in a lot of videos because it's the real deal. When you are just stressed out because you don't have any money, or you're worried over the $3 buys, like, if you go into a store and you're worried about picking up, for us women, for example, maybe we want a new eyeliner, and we know the eyeliner is, between $7 and $10. Those purchases shouldn't be that stressful. We shouldn't be worried about, the under $10 buys. But when we are, there's something behind that. Because if we were taking care of the whole, then these little pickup things that we just want to try, for example, whether it be new makeup or, it just be anything that's, under $100 even, that shouldn't be stressful to us that, well, I shouldn't do that because, I need to make my house payment next week. The whole why you want to get out of debt should be because you don't want to be a slave to the lender. You don't want to have to worry about, if I don't make this payment, are they going to come and take my car? You know, I mean, how many of us have been there? How many's had your car repoed? I'm going to raise my hand because I've been there. So I feel like that if you guys could find the why, first off, why you're doing the things you're doing. The Starbucks coffee is not taking you down. That's not what is dragging your finances into the ground. We all love coffee. I mean, most of us, I won't say we all, but you all have that special thing that if you have it once in the morning or throughout the day, it's comforting, right? It's comforting. It makes you feel better. It just gives you a little excitement for the day. But you shouldn't have to worry about getting the $5 cup of coffee if your finances are in order. That's the whole part of my channel. The whole thing is to get you comfortable with your money again, not to be stressed out about money. But let's use our money in a way that it's working for us so that we don't even think twice about the $5 coffee anymore. We don't think twice about, if our daughters want to go see a movie with friends, that we could give them, $20 to go. You want to take all of the stress away from money. Money should not be stress. It's very emotional, and I don't care who says it's not. There's an emotional tie to money. But once you figure out why you have that emotional tie, then you're going to figure out your why. Why are you really doing this? Why are you really stressed out when it comes to money? How can you make your life with money less stressful and absolute peace? I mean, there's no reason that you can't have absolute peace. Just figure out your why, and then tomorrow when you wake up and you're ready to get up and you're ready to go do your day, and maybe you have some ideas of how you're going to handle your finances, then the why is already there, and you know and are determined what you need to do, what you know you need to do, and you're excited to do it. We want to get away from the stress of why we're in debt. Why? It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. Don't ask that question. Why am I in debt? It doesn't matter. You're there. You're there right now. You should not be digging yourself deeper into debt. You should be digging yourself out of debt. I have to tell this story because I tell you, I am still amazed. It's one of my students that's in the 6-week class. And oh my gosh, when I pulled up her worksheet and I saw that she had a mortgage at 10.42%, I said it, 10.42%. There was no end date on her mortgage because the interest rate was astronomical. And we have talked through videos and lives of what those mortgages are doing to our finances. But when I saw 10.42%, I thought she had made a mistake. And so I called her out during class and I said, let's talk about this. That's what I said. Why you're in debt, who cares? Let's get you out. That lady literally had to go into the automated software. But the thing is her why was she wants to retire in 5 years. She wants to be set. I have another one that contacted me this week, and she and her husband want to buy an RV and travel. And they want to do it within 5 years. It seems like 5 years is the going rate, especially for us older people. We're just tired of working, right? Find your why. Why do you do what you do? And make sure that it's a good reason, because when it is, nothing is going to stop you. You are going to get out of debt, and you're going to get out quite quickly because your why is there and you know why you're doing it. I had a why on my finances several years ago. Was I knew that my daughters would be getting married one day, and I know that the bride's family is the one to take care of that, right? So at least the ceremony part, I guess, but it's expensive. So my why several years ago became, I'm going to be out of debt so that I can pay for my daughter's weddings, whatever it is they want, which I had told them at one time I was going to give them $5,000 each Well, I got news for you. $5,000 doesn't cover anything in a wedding anymore. They're very expensive. So I've been through one and I got two more to go. So it's like, that was my why, is I aimed to be out of debt. I aimed to have money ready for those weddings. What's your why? Do you have a why? I mean, are you going to put them in the chat for me? And let's talk about why you want to get out of debt. And let's really nail that down, because once it's there, like I said, you're set, you're off and running, and it's exciting because you've got a goal in mind and you're going to get there. Hey, I'm doing this because I want to reach this goal by this date so that I can take the stressors of money away from me. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I forgot about St. Patrick's Day. I've been in church all day, and so I didn't even think about it. Hey, I do have like a green notepad here beside of me. Sorry, guys. Sorry, didn't even think about green. Oh my goodness. My wedding anniversary is in 2 days though, so I'm pretty excited about that. You all are so kind. Wow. Too bright white light. I am sorry. Like, I'm not prepared for this live at all. Is it like reflecting you to death? I might be able to turn it off or anything from my lights. Is that a little bit better? I could have read that at the very first and I could have corrected that so it wouldn't have been killing your eyes. So I apologize. CJ, he has $5,000 in his savings. Should I throw that on my HELOC right now? I absolutely put all of my savings into my HELOC. I'm trying to, now remember guys, I came off of the Dave Ramsey. So I was doing the envelopes. I had envelopes. And I love envelopes because I got to play with the money and stuff the money into the envelope. You know, like what? $50 a week for, what was it? So like I would divide up my electric bill and say it's $200. I would put $50 a week into my envelope, and it was so much fun. I got to, I don't know why. It was so, I just loved it. I mean, I still love that feeling of stuffing envelopes and playing with cash. And I know that we've got people in the house right now that you did that too, or maybe you're still doing it. But long story short, when I decided to move into Velocity Banking, I released all of that cash from those envelopes, and it took me a long time. Actually, I have a live or a video where I tell that I had just taken the cash out and put it into my accounts because I had just left it sitting in the safe. So when Dave Ramsey talks about the emotion attached to money, he's not joking, especially cash. It's hard to let it go. So I totally enjoyed doing the cash envelopes. I thought that was so much fun. So I did take all of my savings and put into my HELOCs or lines of credit, whatever. And why? Why do we do that? Well, it's because you know you can use it again. It's just going in there to knock down the balance so that you can keep some interest off of that account. Okay. Let's see what else. Arizona's in the house. Okay, so Local Fatty says, great questions. I thought I knew what my why was multiple times, but it's always changing, and it does change. Like I'm still on the why of, you know, my weight and exercises because I have upcoming weddings, I'm sure. I have upcoming graduations. You know, hello, I'm on YouTube. I mean, there's some reasons that I feel like that I need to keep myself together. And then your finances, yes, they've absolutely changed for me as well. So your whys are going to change as you get older. And I'm laughing out loud because YouTube was the last thing I mentioned, but that's a big why, isn't it? Okay, I'm done. Sorry. Temple, Texas is in the house. All right. I follow you since day one. With Velocity Banking, I have paid a lot of my debt now. I have 2 more loans to pay off and mortgage, but I'll get there thanks to you. You are my hero. Well, how sweet is that, Adventures? Thank you so much. I don't even think that I'm my kids' heroes anymore. Wow, that's pretty. Thank you. That makes me feel good. Thank you for these videos, the live videos. Happy to see you. Thank you so much. We got Alabama, Oklahoma. How do we get a financial advisor to work with us when we are in debt? What is the upside for the service? Oh, my Lord, naturally amplified. Did you really just ask me that question? I am always saying that we don't need a financial advisor. What in the world? And if you've got loads of money and you have investments and you have a financial advisor, for goodness sake, don't pay them by percentage. Pay them by the hour because they're ripping you off if you're paying them by the percent. But you don't need a guru to tell you how to work your finances. I have over 500 videos out there for you to watch. They're completely free. So don't pay somebody to help you get out of debt, okay? That's just silly. We got Fairhaven, New York, Houston, Texas. Ken, I am good. Thank you so much. Today was a wonderful Sunday. Did you guys get in church? Did everything go well? Did you have a great Sunday? Because I absolutely had a terrific Sunday. Trey says, started watching you in January, already down from 47,000 in credit card debt to 35. I am so happy for you. That's awesome, Trey. Thank you for sharing. We've got Melody. Hi, Melody. Melody sends me stuff in the mail all the time. She's like one of my faves. Okay, Amy says, I want to visit my kids and grandkids a lot. Retire from teaching soon and travel. Drowning in debt is not the life I want to live. Amen and amen to that. Preach on, sister. Ready to retire. Look at all of these whys. I didn't even realize. I am so happy that you started writing them. I'm going to go through these and look at these again. I'm tired of robbing Peter to pay Paul. That is a great, great reason to get out of debt, because I remembered that so much, so much. We got California. Hi, Betty in California. How safe is a HELOC? Can the bank call it at any time, or is it bound by contract? They're safe the way I use them. Now, if somebody's out there frivolously living off of their HELOC, then I wouldn't say that's safe, because I'm always telling you guys to take care of your lines of credit. If you have a HELOC, do not get it up to the limit. There's no sense in that. When I work with people, like I worked this week, and I told them they had $100,000 HELOCs, but they didn't have the income cash flow that I would like to have seen. So I just suggested we start out with 15, 20,000 with those. So as long as you are taking care and not loading yourself up on those HELOCs, you're going to be just fine. Now, with the first lien HELOC, the companies that I work with, even through the 2008 market collapse, whatever you want to call it, they did not have any limits cut. They didn't call any. So that's not a usual thing that happens with the first lien HELOC. The second position HELOC, absolutely. They can freeze them if the market tends to drop out. So just be safe. Just use your lines of credit wisely, and don't be out there buying TVs and silly stuff on them. They should only be used for debt removal or acquisition of properties. I mean, really, it should be used very, very wisely. Yes, the stress does contribute to illness. Why I didn't find you a year and a half ago? I know that's the truth. To remain cancer-free, nice. Yes, to be out of debt when I retire in 4 years. That is awesome. Jerry says, I can afford to make payments now, but when I retire, I won't be able to. Dally says, I'm retired and doubt my debt will disappear before I do. Oh, stay on top of it, Dally. Stay encouraged. Why didn't I find you sooner? I think that's so sweet, because I had the same question, so don't worry. Know your whys is very wise. Very good. Family, that was always mine. That was always mine. To take care of the family and to get ready for the things that the girls needed. Phoenix, Arizona. Let's see. Palestine, Texas, Delaware, Louisville, Kentucky. We've got you all over. The U.S. is in the house. Because that was on my mind, is the why. I want everybody to understand why they're doing what they're doing. It's just so important to have that question answered in your mind. Sit down tonight. I'm actually getting journals together. I'm pretty excited about it. A VANNtastic journal. I think that's a cool idea. So I want the journal so that you can sit down and literally talk to yourself every day about why you're doing what you're doing. And I'm going to use that in my one-on-one meetings. I guess I want to call them coaching and counseling, but I'm not a counselor and I'm not a financial advisor. But I feel like that when you sit down and you write down your reasonings for why you're doing what you're doing, and what I am talking to you about a lot is your goals. Your goals need to be set. They need to be set, written down on paper. And that comes all the way from getting out of debt. How much debt do you want to pay off this year? What date are you going to have it paid off by? What home are you looking to buy? What does that home look like, right? What do the trees look like in the front yard? Do you have a big long driveway or a short driveway? I mean, what does each room of the house look like? When I talk about setting your vision, that's what I'm talking about. Let's nail it down. What is it that you really want? And that really takes you some time to sit down and think about what it is that you really want. And, make a list of 5 things and go over them every morning, every night. And as priorities change, then reprioritize them, and for each one, let's say you write down 5 goals, that be your wealth, your health, your home, everything, whatever's important to you. Write them down and then break it down from there. If number 1 is your weight, what do you want to see happen with that weight in 2024? Set a goal. Do you want to lose 10 pounds? Do you want to lose 12 pounds? Do you want to lose 45 pounds? Write down the weight that you want to see on that scale when you stand on it, and put the date that you want to see it. We have to get really, really see it in our mind's eye before we ever get to it. That's what's going to lead us to that goal, is when we have it there in our mind and we're declaring that that is what we are going to have, or what we have, right? When we're already knowing that that's coming to us, it's so easy to make that a part of your life and the part of your changes that you're going to make in your life to get there. So if you want to have, $25,000 in debt paid off by December the 31st, then write it down. Write down what your goal is. Even from your car, your spouse, or if you don't have one, clean out your closet and get ready for a spouse. What is it that you're trying to make happen in your life? You need to put it in your mind's eye. Live like you've already received it and watch it come to you. A big one that I talk to a lot of you guys about is setting the goal for your income. I talk to people who don't make $2,000 a month, and applauds to these people that can live on $2,000 a month. I don't know how you're doing it in this day and time. Make a goal, if that's your desire, is to make more money this year. Put down how much more money you want to make and date it. And in that way, you have a goal, and watch the ideas flow to you. Things you never thought of before, things that come up to bring you extra money. But you have to have in your mind's eye, it's already there. It's set. You see it. That sounds so stupid, but it's not. I'm telling you guys, it's a game changer. And whatever you do, pray about it and ask God to bless it, and watch how things will unfold for you. It's so important. John says, if you buy a house, do you try and find a line of credit instead of a loan? I would, John. I would go look for a first lien HELOC. I have some lenders if you're looking for a first lien HELOC, okay? Read us your journal. I've got them. They're not sitting right here beside of me, but I have showed them before. I have bunches of crazy time journals, okay? I wrote the good, bad, and the ugly in mine. Paul says, fantastic. I love you. I love you, Paul Porter. Thank you for teaching me about the line of credit. You are welcome. You are welcome. Question, what is the best way for my 18-year-old son to start his credit? Justin, it just starts with a credit card. It just starts with a credit card. Making sure they're using the credit card correctly. Working with maybe getting a car eventually when the line of credit's built up. I know that for my daughter, where I actually got a car loan with her, and then I made the payments on it for about probably a year. I'm not sure. I can't remember now. But I made the payments for her for a year before I paid it off. Yes, she had to put the down payment on it, but I made the payments to build her credit, and now she's in the 800s and is ready to buy a home. So you can work with your kids like that. When I say I signed with her, a co-signer, I don't ever suggest anybody do that with family, friends, strangers. It doesn't matter. You should never share your credit with anyone unless you are in control of the debt, unless you're the one making those payments. If you're making the payments and you plan to pay it off, then wear it out, because they can't mess up your credit because you're taking care of it. So when I'm not telling anybody to go co-sign with anybody and turn it loose. I have so many war stories I have heard about people that go off and co-sign with a family member, especially. I've heard that so much. Brothers doing brothers dirty. They'll co-sign with them on a loan, and then the brother won't be making the payments, and the other brother thought that they were, and everybody's credit's destroyed. So, but if you are in control of the debt and you know that you're going to be paying it, then that's what I did for my daughter, was to make those payments for her every year. And then I paid off the car. That way she got her credit built up. Mine was never in jeopardy. And now it's completely out of my name and she's on her own. So that's an idea. Hi, Speak Live. Hello, hello. Okay, I'm going to answer a couple more. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chrissy. 57 years. Dally's been married 57 years. I will never be married 57 years unless I live to be, I guess, I don't know, 100. I might make it. But just happy that I'm in the relationship I am. Hello, Scott Van. I said it. I know you're listening. I know he's on here listening somewhere. Betty says, I watched your food budget video and it's very helpful. I started doing that envelope this week. Isn't that so cool? I haven't done that video in a while. I want to update that. But I'll show you guys right fast what she's talking about in case you didn't grab that video. It was when I was doing, oh my gosh, $75 a month. Is that what I had for each person? I think that's what it was, 75. And so let's pretend this is an envelope, okay? Envelope, however you want to say it. And you would put up here $75. Now this is for one person, $75 per person per month. Yeah, I said it. I said it, per person per month. It is doable. I did it. Now, this is before inflation, so you might want to raise that up to $100 per person. Okay, so $75 per person. You and your spouse, that would be $150, right? So you would put $150 at the top of the envelope here and then date it. So this would be, what were it, 3/17. Then under here, every time you spend, you write, oh, can you see this? Every time you spend, you write how much you spent. Now, this is for the month. This is for the month. I know it was crazy, but you divide it down by the week and it works. So when you can get your food budget to where you and your spouse are spending $150, I know it sounds crazy. And somebody's out there saying, you know, you're ridiculous. This is not real. If I hadn't done it for myself, I wouldn't have known. I do not do this now. I'm going to be honest. I haven't done this in a while, but I proved it could be done. Me and my daughter, we used to go to the grocery store and just see what we could get by with during that grocery trip. And it was amazing. It was amazing. I think that I want to say that my budget was $50 a week. Some way I was getting $50 a week. And we did it. We'd go to the grocery store. It's just 7 days, guys. When you take your mind off of the month, when you take it off of doing the whole 30 or 31 days and you take it to 7 days, it's so easy. That's the point of the envelope. You put the money in there. If you're going to do that, I use a credit card and I would just, whatever amount I spent, I would write it down, subtract it off, and know I had this much for the week left. 7 days, guys. Then you get to go shop again, and I would go shop on the 6th day. So I was rolling, saved so much money. Oh my gosh. I mean, and I need to do that again because it's so foolish that we waste money the way we do on food. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm talking myself into going back in on that. I'm so glad that you brought that up. What a great subject. I need to do another video on that. What is your why, VANNtastic? I told you my why for finances is my daughters, their weddings, graduations, grandchildren. I have so many whys. Oh my gosh. And the same whys are for trying to stay healthy, is because the grandchildren, you want to be able to take them on vacation or run with them on the beach or go to a playground. If you're feeble and you're on a cane, that's not going to help them. So I would like to stay healthy for them. And I would like to be financially set to be able to pay for the things that you need to pay as you move into adulthood with your children. Sounds like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower diet for $75. Not really, Jesus. We did like spaghetti. We could find hamburger on sale, and we would do like spaghetti and make a big thingy of it. Have spaghetti and hamburger with Alfredo sauce or spaghetti sauce, whatever you like. That's so surprisingly cheap. It's not even funny. And then you can have leftovers and do it the next day. So you're talking about a $15 meal there, okay? And then when you divide it into 2 days, you spent $7.50 for a family of 3 in our situation. And so don't tell me you can't do it. That's even if you get some kind of French roll to go with it. I mean, the ideas flow to you when you have decided that you're going to save money on food. They flow. The roast that you can put in the crock pot with the potatoes and the carrots, you're talking what? That's probably 20, that might be a $35 meal, right? But how many days does that last when you can make even sandwiches out of it in the third day before you throw it out? Great ideas, guys. If you're in a crunch for money, if you're paycheck to paycheck, try doing food bill savings, because it is wonderful and it takes so much pressure off of your finances when you're spending right on your food. Eating out. Now, I had an eating out thingy too. We would eat out once a week because I just feel like that things are busy and, you know, everybody doesn't want to cook every day. So I had that splurge, and we would do $50 for eating out once a week too. So add in whatever's going to help. But when I started doing that, I found that my food bill for the last 3 months before I started this had been $1,600 a month. And I said, that's ridiculous. You know, that is ridiculous. But when you're eating out, especially today, when you can't go to Wendy's for 3 people and spend under $40, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It's so expensive to eat out, even at fast food right now. So it's very important that if you are struggling paycheck to paycheck, try that food savings. It is amazing. It's amazing how easy it is to do. Once you get motivated, what's your why? You know, do you spend, $1,600 a month on food for 3 people? If you do, and you can cut that down to $500 a month, what debt could you pay off this month just by doing that for 1 month? What if you did that for 6 months? What $6,000 bill are you going to be able to pay off? You get motivated because you see what you could do with the money. You're still eating fine. I mean, we're not going for, we're not starving ourselves at all. We ate plenty. It was just that we got really specific and detailed about what we were going to spend on the food. And when we went to the grocery store, we looked for the items that was going to give us a good meal, but wasn't going to rob our pocketbook. Okay. So get motivated with that food bill. Everybody, I look at their worksheet. Okay, I won't say everybody. Most people, especially with families, they have large food bills. I have some people that come to me and they'll have $200 for coffees a month, or they'll have $200 for alcohol a month. I had a lady that had a $650 line item in her worksheet for having her dogs walked every month. Just know your why. Why are you spending what you do, and what can you cut back on to put more money into this debt elimination? I don't want anybody to live like you're poor. I don't like that poor mentality. We're not poor. It's just that we're not putting our money where it serves us, and it feels like that we're broke. But once you figure out these loans and these lines, do some little tricks like with the food savings, stuff like that, it makes all the difference in your future. Not just into this month, into this year, but when you get organized in your expenses and your finances, it changes everything. I mean, give it a try, guys. You're going to see. Hi, Chosen. Finally seeing you live. I'm here. If you can go to the bank foods, it will help. I have never done that. I don't have a problem with that. I've just never done it because I didn't want to take away from somebody else that really, really is like living on the street in need. But that's a good idea if you're okay with going that way. You don't need to eat bread or macaroni. It's not good for you. Okay, that's very true. Very true. Let's see. No drinks, appetizers, or desserts. That would help on eating out for sure. Yes, that would, because everything is just expensive. Should you just save the cash flow and pay off the debt, or is the HELOC better? Well, Tim, if you save for the debt and don't use the HELOC, what's the purpose? Why don't you use the HELOC, pay off the debt, and then save in the HELOC and pay that back, and you're not paying the interest that you paid over here on that loan? I kind of try to look at things backwards just to see what's going to be the biggest saver money-wise, interest-wise. The HELOC beats the loan almost all the time, all day long. So if you can decide why it would be better to save money instead of using a HELOC to pay off your loan or whatever you're talking about, it may be what you need to do. This is about individuality. I'm just sharing what I did to get myself out of a debt, out of a stressful place. It may not be for you. It's not for everybody, but I don't know anybody that it's not for so far that I work with. So do what you feel, do what you're comfortable with. So Jesus, he always gives excellent answers. I'm going to see what he wrote. He says, I view extra payments, cash flow, like a bank. Yes, you're clearing what's in front of you, but leveraging it, the line, like a bomber, clearing a lot further ahead, 12 months ahead. That's exactly the way I feel, Jesus. Get rid of the loan now and then start working that back off with your cash flow and all of your income, all income in, all expenses out. Okay, I am going to jump off of here. I've got one on TikTok, Tracy. She says, I'm in the UK and I started this some months ago and I've already paid off around 50% of debt. That is so awesome. Oh my gosh. And I know I have a lot of people that watch in the UK, and they're asking me constantly, can this be used in the UK? And that was the answer right there. I love it. I love it. We have so many people that are doing so good. Thrifty Mama, she's the one that said that she had done so well on paying off her debt as well. I love it. I love getting all of this information from you guys that you're actually doing velocity banking and you're winning. I have people say, well, where's the proof? Where's the proof that this works? And I'm like, I am the proof. But, you know, it doesn't matter. Some people just don't want to be believers. But if you watch my channel and you know how I feel about loans and you walk into a bank and you ask for a line of credit and they say, well, you would be really silly to get that line of credit. You could get a loan and save you so much money in interest because the interest charge is lower. What are you going to say? No, we don't want loans. We want lines, right? So let's stick with the plan. Find that line of credit and get busy using it and see if it doesn't change up the way you feel about your money. Remember, be thinking about your why. Get that why written down on paper and then take off running tomorrow morning when you wake up and you are ready to face your day with excitement, knowing that you're going to be getting out of debt, because it is very, very easy for the people who are using your lines of credit correct. I appreciate you joining me tonight. If you have any questions or comments, leave them under the video. I will look at them eventually. And if you want to check out the 6-week course that's getting ready to start back up April 25th, I'm going to have a link for it underneath this video as well. All right, guys. So I hope you guys have a terrific week this week, and I will see you in the next video.